Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond.
Nah, now he's doing it on purpose, right? He's doing it on purpose. He is 100% doing it on purpose. What? What? I wasn't gonna.
Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond. Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond.
Hang on. Let's go to the previous one.
Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond.
The one before that?
D&D TikTok and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sale. Good afternoon, D&D TikTok
And the one before that?
and beyond, and welcome to Roll. Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond.
He hotter, dude.
Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let fate decide my lunch. Let's go.
That's funny.
Today's episode of Roll for Sandwich is sponsored by Armor Class 10. Odds are, if you've seen me wearing a cool TCRPG-related shirt on the show, it's from Armor Class 10. They have a large selection of short and long sleeve shirts, hoodies, boxers, and even kids' clothes. Head to armorclass10.com to snag one of these designs for yourself and use code SANDWICH for 10% off your purchase. Without further ado, let's get things started with our Roll for Bread.
Very weird segue, but I always like whenever I get a sponsorship and they give me a code. I don't care if I don't get any cut from it, right? Like a lot of times I don't actually take the deals where it's like, oh, you get a percentage of. I don't want to drive your sales, dude. I'll be the messenger, right? But I'm always a fan when sponsors give me like a code of some sort to save you guys money or pass it along, because otherwise then it just feels weird. It just feels like a random advertisement that like you don't even benefit from. But at least if you get something off, it's like, hey, you know what? So I like when companies do that a lot, when they give you something like that.
One of these designs for yourself and use code SANDWICH for 10% off your purchase. Without further ado, let's get things started.
I know it might sound kind of weird, but
white
that's how my
bread.
brain works.
There are many fancier and healthier breads out there, but sometimes it's nice to come back to just a couple slices of soft white bread.
Agreed.
Next up, let's roll for Maine. 5 refried beans. So close to a vegetarian Maine, but traditional refried beans contain lard, so not vegetarian. This will not be the first time I've had refried beans on a sandwich. I've had quite a few delicious Mexican tortas with refried beans on them, but I've also had refried beans on the show before. It was not that great. We're gonna heat up our beans a little bit and then we're gonna spread them on our soft white bread. So far this sandwich really could go either way. Right now it's a good base for a lot of flavors, but also could end up not being great. Really gonna depend on what else we roll. Next up, let's roll for our cheese.
Ryan needs to give you
6 Parmesan Reggiano. This 2-year aged Parmesan is very low moisture and has a nutty flavor. Today I think we'll grade it as the grated Parmesan.
maybe a bit of a hot take. I don't like Parmesan Reggiano as much as I like regular Parmesan. I like regular Parmesan better.
Parmesan will stick nicely to the beans.
Oh, my food just got delivered. I gotta go get it after this. My groceries.
If we by chance were to get something that let us melt the cheese, that would kind of be a bummer with this one, because this low moisture cheese won't melt that well, and melty cheese is good with beans. All in all, though, not a bad
finally,
roll.
only like an hour late.
All right, let's roll our roughage. 2 romaine and 4 green onion. Well, the romaine lettuce isn't going to add much flavor for us, but we'll add a little bit of crunch, which is nice because right now all we've got is pretty much mush. So maybe an improvement on texture. The green onion should impart a nice flavor for us. I've cut them in kind of long pieces so that they don't roll off the sandwich as easily, and they'll give us just a little mild bite, which should be good here. Time to hit it with a little chaos with the wild magic roll. 8 mushroom jerky. You heard that right. This is jerky made from mushrooms. I saw it on the shelf at the store and thought, sure, why not? It looks like beef jerky and a little bit like something else. This particular mushroom jerky is zesty Thai flavored. We will find out if that's a good thing. And last but not least, we have the D20 sauce roll. Here we go. 16 roasted sesame dressing. This dressing comes from the same Japanese company as the mayo I'm so fond of, and has a nice creamy umami flavor. Umami definitely seems to be the theme of this sandwich. From the mushrooms to the beans, even the aged Parmesan has a lot of it. Let's go ahead and get our sandwich closed up here. Get our toothpicks in to hold it together, and let's get it chopped in half.
I'm thinking like a 6.
It's a cross section.
Maybe a 5.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything outright offensive on this sandwich. It's just kind of a weird one. Only thing left to do is give it a taste. Here we go. You know, that mushroom is a bit to chew through. Okay. Overall, taste isn't bad. The seasoning on that mushroom jerky keeps it from being like super mushroomy.
Maybe like a 6.
But it's a little sweet for my taste.
2.
I think the major issues with this one is the texture.
Maybe
Mostly
6-1.
mush with really chewy jerky. I don't hate it, but it stands to be improved. I'm gonna say 6.2 today, and I'm gonna call it the Umami Bomb.
I moved with
Thanks for hanging
6-1.
out with me today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again on Friday.
Hey, not bad, not bad, not bad. Chat, let me go get my groceries. I'll be right back.
Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sandwich, the series. Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sandwich, the series where I Today I'm going to be using these copper metal dragon dice that were sent in by a viewer. Thanks. Let's get things started with our roll for bread. 6, sourdough. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sourdough is one of my favorite sandwich breads. But what I will
No,
not
I
say
wasn't
is the
pre-watching
thing that
when I went to go get my
last
groceries.
time. Next up, let's roll for Maine.
Holy
12, butter the bread and re-roll. This one's for all you non-Americans out there. Eat your heart out. Going to apply a nice layer of butter to each slice of bread, and then we'll roll again for Maine.
each slice.
All
Damn.
right, let's see what we get. 1, corned beef in a can.
Ooh.
Growing up, I was familiar with the deli version of corned beef, not the canned version. But since having the deli version on the
Wait,
show multiple
what
times,
is
I've learned
that?
of this canned version. And this will be my
What
first time
in the
trying it.
f is that
Well, I can already see
contraption?
some congealed fat, which might be a deal breaker for some people. Thankfully, this can is kind of a trapezoid, so the meat comes out pretty easily. Let's get ourselves a slice here and get it on our bread. At this consistency, it's pretty much corned beef hash without the potatoes.
Yo, if I'm completely honest, I would definitely still try that though.
And I enjoy a good corned beef hash with some eggs and toast. I guess we'll see how it is on
I
a
am
sandwich.
100% still trying
Next up,
it. And I
let's roll
hate
for some
myself for
cheese.
that, but I'm doing it.
2, provolone. I think a couple slices of smoked provolone will be a great fit here. Nothing too crazy, and the smokiness should pair well with the meat. All right, let's roll that roughage. 9, kimchi and 10, pickles. Kimchi is a
do you mean
traditional
cook it? You just
Korean
put it like in
dish
a
made with
frying
fermented
pan?
vegetables. I think most commonly here
I'm
in
not
the
a big
States
kimchi
you'll
guy,
find
so-
kimchi made with
Yeah.
Napa cabbage. Kimchi has an interesting spicy and somewhat sour taste from
That's
the
a lot of kimchi,
fermentation and
no?
chili powders and garlic. It'll be interesting to see how it is on the sandwich. And then we're going to pair it with some pickles. I chose to use these little dill snacking pickles because there was only a few left in the jar. And anytime I can get a jar out of my overly stuffed fridge,
Nothing
I
like
am
watching
happy.
this right
I think the
before
pickles should
dinner.
pair well with the
3 months.
kimchi. And
True.
I kind of think it's all going to go pretty well with the corned beef. Almost like a weird Reuben. And now for a little chaos
I know a weird Reuben.
with the Wild Magic. That is a 17. 17, we have chips. Today I have just classic plain potato chips. They'll add some salt, some savoriness, and a nice crunch. And last but not least, it's the D20 sauce roll. Here we go. 12, bringing it on home with Kewpie mayo. Honestly, a pretty perfect roll. We've already got a lot of flavor from the kimchi and the pickles. This mayo will just add a little bit more fat.
I know
and a
I'm
little
alone in
umami.
this, but I
It
think regular
definitely
mayo is
shouldn't
better
hurt.
than Kewpie mayo.
Let's go ahead and get our sandwich closed up here.
Cane's mayo specifically is better than Kewpie mayo.
Get our toothpicks in to hold it
This
together.
looks solid though.
And let's get it cut in half.
That was not that much mayo.
And let's take a look at that cross section. That doesn't look too bad.
I'm not big on the kimchi,
From
but
roll
this
to
is probably
roll,
going to
I
be
really
pretty
had no
solid.
idea where this sandwich was going. But on paper, at least, it doesn't seem too bad. Let's hope I'm right, because it's quite a big sandwich.
It is a
Probably
big
should have
sandwich.
drained the kimchi a little bit, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Let's taste it. You know, I wasn't sure how I would feel about that corned beef from a can, but I don't mind it. This is actually pretty dang good. The kimchi is kind of a roughage
Maybe like an
condiment
8-7?
combo is really doing it for me here. You've got the little bit of crunch from the pickles and the potato chips.
Oh, he's liking it.
contrasting
Maybe
the
even a
creaminess of the
9.
butter
Could be
and
like
the
a
mayo
9
and kind of
too.
corned beef. It's salty, savory, spicy. Would have held up a little better on toasted bread, but it's pretty good. I'm going to give it a 9.1, and I'm going to call it the canned heat. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday.
Damn, I'm actually surprised it was that high.
Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let faith. Good afternoon, D&D TikTok and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let faith decide my lunch. Let's go. Today I'm going to be using these black vortex dice that were sent in by a viewer. Thanks. Let's get things started with our roll for bread. Let's see, that's a 6, sourdough.
Sourdough
Twice in a row. It's a bread that I like. Next up, let's roll for Maine. And it looks like we have a 9, chorizo. Chorizo is a cured pork sausage originating from Spain. Here in the States, though, I think we're more commonly familiar with Mexican chorizo, which is more often served ground. It's packed with the flavor of paprika and other spices.
It looks like pepperonis.
Not a bad start. Let's roll for some cheese. We've got a 4. Munster.
Can't see those dice for
Smooth,
shit.
creamy, and a little tangy. I think this will be a great complement to the chorizo. Just waiting for the hammer to fall. All right, next up, let's roll roughage. 4 green onion and 5 fresh habanero. All right, nothing wrong with green onion on a sandwich. We're gonna cut off the base here, and we're gonna save this to take advantage of the infinite onion glitch. Then I'm gonna cut up my onion here in some kind of longer, bigger pieces because I think those will be less likely to fall off of the sandwich.
If you replant that, do you get it
Having that onion flavor with the mellow cheese will be nice, and it'll complement the sausage. I try to do my best to keep the ingredients on the show fresh, no pun intended, rather than featuring the same ingredients over and over again. And that means sometimes stepping outside of my comfort zone a little bit. And in this case, my literal physical comfort zone. Hopefully we get some ingredients that will kind of help with the spice. So far, I think the cheese is our only saving grace. Let's hit it with a little wild magic.
Hurt, probably.
Let's see. It looks like
habaneros for me personally
14.
Where spice turns from
original wild magic
good taste to hurt.
Chili crisp.
You're just hurting yourself.
When I said ingredients that would help with the spice, I didn't mean ingredients that would help it be more spicy. This stuff has fantastic flavor, but it's not going to do anything to cool off my palate. It's chili oil and fried garlic and just a bunch of awesome tasting stuff and crunchies, and it's really great. Like, you should try it on a sandwich. It's amazing. Just maybe a different sandwich. And last but not least, it's the D20 sauce roll. Here we go. All right, what's our sauce to bring this sandwich home? We've got an 8, and 8 is Drunken Jerk. This is a hot sauce and marinade made with Jamaican jerk seasoning, including arrows. Fate really said, hey, take 8d6 fire damage. Great. All right, let's go ahead and get our sandwich closed up here. Get our toothpicks in to hold it together.
Actually, unironically toast.
And let's take a look at that cross section.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Well, even though we've had things like ghost pepper ketchup on the show before, I'm pretty sure this will be the spiciest sandwich we've had to date.
I know what the rating is because it's glitched at the beginning, so I'm not going to guess.
And something to cut it. This has so many spicy things on it. Here goes nothing. Yep, that is very spicy. Even still, that chili crisp really shines through. It's delicious.
Poor guy.
Just that with the chorizo and the Munster would be a great sandwich. This one's difficult because the flavors are really good. The flavors work together well. If I was a little bit more spice tolerant, I think this would be a very high rating, but I'm not. And I also know what this is going to do to me later. That being said, I think I'm going to give this one a straight 5. And I'm going to call it the descent into Avernus. I'm going to go have some ice cream. Have a good day.
Jesus Christ, dude. That's going to be a mean trip to the bathroom later. What the hell?